Today we're going to be using a green combo, and I stamped the image with Memento on Express It. We're using an adorable image, just like two little peas in a pod, called Sweet Peas in a Pod, and it's by Whimsy Stamps. Just an adorable little image. Love this one. Now if you look at the image, I'm going to try to make the entire little sweet pea stand out and look like it pops up from the pod. I have 3 birds that insist that I cut every single sweet pea that they get every morning lengthwise with the top off so that they can lift each little sweet pea out of the pod. So I get a lot of practice looking at and seeing how the little peas actually pop up from the pods, and the part below that remains dark, kind of more in shadow due to the popping up of the peas in the pod, not getting quite so much light source. And we're using YG63, and this is using Copic alcohol ink markers. Later on I'm going to show you at the end of the video how it looks with a Touch Twin by ShinHan. There'll be a little lighter combo than this. Had I planned it a little better, I would have selected some lighter green for my Copic so that we could have matched the green that I have for the ShinHan, or at least similar. I think the ShinHan has a touch more grayish color in it, but I like that. I really like both of them. We're just establishing where the shadow marks are, and now we're kind of laying in our mid-tone. Flicking out from the darker edge in toward my highlight. Now we're using, again, the highlight, the YG03. Careful not to go over into it too much. Every time you go over the color, even though it's the same color, you will lay down particles and darken your color. Putting some shadows in now. And I'm just touching my darker color, my shadow color, my YG67 to my YG63. This is called a tip to tip, always touching the lightest color to the dark and coloring with the lightest color. That can bridge a color and get you something somewhere in the middle. I love bridging techniques. It tends to help me with my blending somewhat. See how those little sweet peas in there are popping up and looking as if they're kind of causing a raised area in the little pod? Again. And now I'm bridging my, touching my colorless blender to my YG63. Just because I don't want to get that center too dark. See how they just pop up? And the pod no longer looks flat. So I'm just going to go ahead, put this background in, but I want the background to be more muted, a little more gray and lighter. And so I stamped, masked my image, and I just stamped over the top some leaves. And this set is from Mama Elephant, and it's Freestyle Florals. And I just thought it was a great background stamp. Just doing a little bit of tip to tip again on here, with only I'm actually touching a colorless blender this time to my G40. You know, there's a lot more gray, kind of gray tone in a G40, and that's what the look I'm going for here, because again, trying to keep the background a little more muted, You don't want so much attention going to it, even though I'm making it kind of whimsical. You're just kind of wanting it to be there to support your focal image. Give it a perspective, give it a place to live, but you still want your focal image to be what draws the eye to the image. Just putting it in roughly. I just want to give the idea, but yet want to keep it really super whimsical. Just some little cast shadow there, and a little darker shading. Okay. I just think it's cute how the light is just popping up, and the little peas just seem to just kind of pop right up off that flat sweet pea pod. Now I'm just taking my Copic and making some curly cues, some whimsical type of curls. Now I'm going to show you, because I know a lot of you have ShinHan, I'm going to color an image, and it will be somewhat lighter, as you can see, and this is with ShinHan Twin Touch. I'm using I used it for the focal image, and I'm also using it for the background, only I'm trying to keep my coloring a little bit lighter for the background, even though I'm using basically the same colors on here, because I just wanted to show you that you can, for those that have ShinHan Twin Touch, I wanted to basically help support that as well, and to show a combo that I like to use with ShinHan. Now you notice how that one little corner never got stamped, and so I took my multiliner and I just sketched it in, and it looks like it was stamped perfectly. Okay, just blending in some very light highlights with my lightest. Now I'm going actually to the darkest and putting in some accent areas, and there you go. I'm actually going to put some dots at the end as well throughout my background, but you'll see that on the finished card. Hope you like it. Give it a try. Thank you for watching.